Hello, day 4. So I just wanted to give you the lowdown on what we're doing today. So if you go to the checklist, you can see that we are moving quite along. And today is day 4 of the ENG3U course, so day 5 of the course because we have the extra day of orientation. And today we're working on activity 5 and 6. So it will be expected that you read the content for both activity 5 and 6 and then do the 2 things here, which is 1 Dropbox activity and 1 quiz. So let's go. So activity 5. This is all about MLA. It's basically extending what we learned about plagiarism yesterday, and there's an interactive activity I'd like you to do here. If you don't do this activity, you're going to find it really hard to do the Dropbox assignment for this task. The Dropbox task requires you to be a detective. So you're going to need to Google these works of literature to get all of the relevant information. So you have the title and the author, but you need to find a real publisher, place of publication, date for all of these things. Some of them are books, some of them are plays. You can see the difference by things being in quotation marks. This is a challenge, and I want to see how you do on this. So it's kind of a test of your Google skills. Some of these are works that we're going to be looking at in the course, and you're not going to get a 4+ or a 4++ unless this is perfect. So do try to get all the information that you can. Try not to cheat by writing like no date or no publisher. The information is out there. So that's the Dropbox task for today. And if you need help with your resources, I've put a link for Citation Machine here, as well as a couple of reminders about what MLA looks like. The rubric is available here. It's quite simple, the rubric for this task. Basically, I'm really looking to see if you understand MLA citation, and I'm looking at how well you find information. So those are those 2 things here. The finding information is here, and the creating the work cited that is masterful is here. So you want to be completing this to the best of your ability if you want a high grade. So the next assignment is activity 6, and we're moving from MLA to persuasion. Hopefully this is something all of you have experience with. It's on the grade 10 literacy test, so I'm expecting that this is something that you know a little bit about. So this is kind of giving you a rundown on essay structure. There's only 1 content page, so please make sure you're reading it. The note on essay structure, I'm expecting you to know this. And then you're doing this quiz. So you'll click on the quiz and you'll go through the quiz. So that is the stuff that is on the docket today. I'm going to take the time to show you a couple of areas now that we're starting to get some work in. One of the places that I'd like to show you is the Q&A. So the Q&A is a place for you to ask your questions. Think of this as if you were in a classroom and someone raised their hand about an assignment. If they had the question, you might have the same question, and you would benefit from hearing what they have to say. If I'm doing everything via email, all of your questions are just going to be to one person. Only you are going to get the benefit of that answer. So we go into the Q&A so other people can benefit. So if you're struggling with something, check the Q&A and see if someone's already asked that question, and I might have already answered it. The other area that I want to show you are these 2 areas. You're going to need a peer editor for your final summative, your essay. So we're going to use that for this space to do that. But you can also, if you want to find an editor in your class, just to like look over your work and you can swap work, that's great teamwork skills. So if you want to find a peer editor, you can click there and basically put out your want ad. All of the people in this class seem like they're very strong writers, so it's always good to have an extra set of eyes on your work. The other place I'd like to show you is the tips. Generally, with different classes, I see recurring problems in people's work. Not your work specifically, but let's say person 1, person 2, and person 6 all make the same mistake in their work. This is where I might give you a reminder. So I would check the tips discussion board once I start putting stuff in there to see if you are potentially making those mistakes. If I put it in there, I'm expecting you not to do it. So I'm expecting everyone to monitor this. I won't like spam you, but when I'm seeing recurring problems on assignments, that is something that I want to show you. And the last thing that I want to show you, while I have a minute, is the front matter here. So you might have noticed this already or explored it, but there's 2 or 3 places here that have a whole bunch of information. So peruse this as you wish. This is all stuff that you would get on the first day, kind of in a course outline. The student information I find is more relevant to you. There's a tips page, the meet the teacher page, the glossary with all the terms that we're using in the course. I'll just show you. This is where it talks about my office hours. So my office hours are in the morning. And the glossary, so for example, we looked at tone with that orientation assignment. And if I scroll down here, the tone is here. So in the glossary is all of the stuff that we could possibly, the terms that you might not know. The last area here is tutorials. So these are where all the tutorials were from the orientation. So if you have a problem with a specific thing, like a quiz, or you want to learn how to like download stuff to the binder, you can watch these video tutorials here. So that's it for today. I hope you are enjoying the slower pace of this because, trust me, after this unit, it is going to ramp up. So have a great day.